Hello class. What we're going to do in this video is we already did our rendering here. We're going to just take our background and make it look darker as an evening shot. Of course, you could always just get a photograph of an evening shot as well, which is another way of doing and skipping this step. But this is some easy tricks here to show you that might be worthwhile. So first thing I want to do is I want to change the background. Well, the background layer, if it's defaulted to locked position like this one is, which is often the case, I first have to unlock it to do anything. So I'm just going to double click right there over the word, and I can change the name if I want to, and we can see the little lock button has gone away. So that's going to allow me to edit this layer. And I'm going to go to Image, Adjust. I'm going to go to Levels, and really any of those sort of things in that first top part of Adjust could work. But I can take this white level and just sort of really turn it down a little bit to start making it more of an evening shot. I can take the blacks and make the blacks darker and just play with all these things, the mid levels, and if this will change sort of the contrast. If I want to change that, I can pull it that way to sort of get to the night shot that I might want to do. Let's see. It might take some adjustment to get it to work, and you might try multiple tools. So you can also say, well, actually the whole scene right now is not working too bad. I don't think the sky seems a little bright, which you can cut out the sky and replace the sky, or just select the sky, which I might do, and just make that darker. But I can also try other things like brightness contrast and take the brightness down and then contrast, up to a certain level to start to make this look like an evening shot, just like that. So I'll try that there. There might be some other things you can do. There are lighting effects in Photoshop, just regular 2D, that you might try. Like you can go to Select, Render, Lighting Effect, and you can see that'll also make it sort of dark, almost too dark in this case. But maybe there's like a moon up here or something like that, so I can give brightness more to one side, for example. And I can play with these toolbars here to change the effect. You can see it's almost making it bright again, even though my background was dark, and I can't even remember exactly what the setting was. But I can make one side brighter than the other, or I can maybe the moon's over here lighting that tree. Actually, that's not so bad. This will act like the moon lighting the tree back here. And I sort of like that, so I'm going to say OK. Now that's permanent. That effect is permanent. It's not like the 3D thing. I can't change this light. It is now rendered onto the background image. And you can see the one nice thing about that effect that didn't have is like my sky is nice and dark over here in this corner. And so that's not a bad thing to do. Arguably, maybe the whole thing is a bit dark, so I could sort of continue to play with image, adjust, mince brightness, contrast. So if I wanted to brighten this up a little bit, I might say okay, brighten that up a little bit. But I also simultaneously might want to affect my original rendering layer, not the model. I'm just gonna do the rendering and say, you know what, now it's a little too dark, and I'll just play with these things to get the rendering to be what I sort of want it to be as well. So you've got sort of these lots of different ways you can play with it to make it fit. And the last bit of warning I'll say is, as you know, most printers will print darker than what you see on the screen. And so when you're working with a dark image like this, you might want to actually artificially brighten it so that when it prints, it looks a little better. So I'll just, and I don't know, it's every printer is different, so you just sort of have to give it your best guess, try it, then go back and play with these things. If it's too bright, you sort of try it again. So I'll just up mine a little bit just to sort of demonstrate that, but I'm not going to print this, and we're all looking at this on videos. So I'll end this here. In the next video, I'm going to say, well, what if we want to relight a window? And we might be able to get fairly close with just 2D Photoshop rather than having the re-rendering. So I'm going to see if I can pull that off or not. But that'll be the next video.